Hello, Nigerian indigenous. We, the Hausa people, are passing information to all Nigerian indigenous to know that the Hausa people are not part of the Fulani tribe. We are the Hausa single tribe as Hausa. The Fulanis are tribes on their own. They are the one with a lot of terrorism group. The Fulani terrorist group, Miati Allah, have been named and labeled in the global world list of terrorist group. So they are being popularly well known in terrorism. They are joining their name as Fulani, including the Hausa name. We are not together with them. We are not part of them. We don't have anything in common with them. We don't have any similarity, both in our tongue, our language tongue, mode of speaking the language. There is no any similarity. We have no any borrow word in between the Hausa and Fulani language. We are far different from them. We don't have anything to do with Fulanis. They are the one that are been joining their names, living in our land, following our shadow. Anywhere a Hausa man is living, you will see a Fulani man.
See, what a lot of Nigerians don't know is Hausa and Fulani are two completely different people. We have different phenotypes. We're not the same. Genetically, Hausas are more closer related to Igbos than they are to Fulani. Fulani is literally like Hausa and Fulani. We need to have a public divorce, because you see the shit that's going on. Fulani is every problem that everyone has in northern Nigeria with the north. It's with Fulani. But there is a small group who infiltrated the Hausas. I am Hausa, he's Fulani. We are complete. We don't speak the same language. The only thing we have in common is Islam. These people originally, Nigerian Fulanis originally, you look at them, they're not even from Nigeria, right? Okay, let's give it, they've come to Nigeria, they're now Nigerian, fuck it. They live in the north, fuck it. We're not the same people. Hausa Fulani is the same thing as saying Igbo Ibibio or Yoruba Irobo. We are literally not the same. And Hausas, unless we come out and start disowning these people, everyone in Nigeria is going to hate us. Because anyone that's watching, do you know what's going on? So, Fulani herdsmen, they're a group of people in Nigeria. His people, Fulanis, they're herdsmen. They're lawless in Nigeria. They have guns. They're the only people in Nigeria who are allowed to carry guns. They have guns. They walk around all of Nigeria. They'll go to anywhere. They'll go into anyone's farm and they'll let loose their sheep on their cows on the farms, right? If the owners of the farm try to fight back, and the government does nothing, because the Fulanis are a very powerful, tiny minority in Nigeria. But they hide under now I'm Hausa, we're a majority in Nigeria. The Fulanis now see themselves as, they hide as a subgroup under Hausas. So they now use they fooled Hausas into thinking that we are not one. This dude, you need to stop this fucking shit you're doing. This is bullshit. We are collateral damage. Hausas are just there needs to be publicly, Hausas need to start coming out publicly and disowning Fulanis. We have nothing to do with these people. This is outrageous. We have lived in peace with every tribe in Nigeria for as long as that land has existed. The moment the Fulanis came in, every issue everyone has in Nigeria is with Fulani. But Hausas, for some reason, we keep going down as collateral damage just because we are attached to these people. This is outrageous, man. This is fucking insane. Like, his argument now is saying that, like, the Fulanis, right? Right now in Nigeria, they went to a group of them, and they've killed almost 20 people on a farm because the people fought back. They did not want their crops eaten. That's a problem in Nigeria right now. This man's argument is, okay, so my people came into your town and killed your people, but what reputation do your people have globally? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What the fuck does that have to do with anyone knows this? Yeah, these are the type of people we need to be beaten in. You know, I take that back. I take that back. We don't need to be beating people like this, but the idea has been planted.
Abundantly clear that the eye of the north has just opened. I think I'll just tell them good morning because this is their morning. It means all this while they were celebrating and rejoicing in their alliance, in their marriage with the Fulani, who of course are supposed to be in the minority, but lording it over the Hausas. It is now that they realize that they have made a very serious mistake, and that mistake is what the South must not make. Because I will give you an instance. A place like Delta States, in some local governments, if you see the level of Fulani military invasion of communities, you begin to wonder, where are we going? And I think good enough, we are seeing the effort of community arrangement of security by way of vigilantes who have been able to address it to an extent, though it's not yet the Hulu. If you look at the position of the Director General of DSS, talking about Ajayi, of course, I salute his courage, but what he has said is not different from what Ananda Kalo have been saying all these years. But unfortunately, the government then refused to see it as a reason or what needed to be done. Because if you look at Nigeria as it is, look at the invasion of communities by Fulani herdsmen, or rather Fulani military. Even though the former president, talking about Muhammad Buhari, made it very clear that these are Fulanis, perhaps who come from Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, different part of the country, different part of the world, and converge in Nigeria. I don't think, though they say they take advantage of our poorer borders, but for me, that is not an excuse. Taking advantage of our poorer borders is not an excuse. Killing Nigerians is unacceptable. That is where the government of the day, whether under Muhammad Buhari, whether under a Tinubu, whether under a Jonathan, that is where they failed woefully, because it behoves on the government to protect lives and property. It is irrespective of the strategy of the invaders, the strategy of whoever is coming to wreak havoc. As a government, you have the responsibility to possess monopoly of coercive power in able to deal with this type of challenge. But unfortunately, the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have not been able to address most of all this. We cannot quickly forget the likes of Taji Bello, who have been wreaking havoc in some part of Zamfara State, who the other time celebrated burning down a military vehicle, even though the military say they are closing in on him currently. But it's not yet on record that he has been arrested or he's under prosecution. So the point is, Nigerians deserve to be protected. And we have government in place, both at the federal, state, and local government level. And the president has sworn to an oath to protect lives and property. That he must do without excuse. And let me quickly say that when he does that, it is not a favor he's doing to anybody. It's a responsibility that's incumbent on his office, having taken the oath of office to protect lives and property. And again, we have seen series of agitation or people agitating to exit Nigeria. And this is part of the reason you see people agitating to leave the country. A situation where the government find it difficult to protect lives and property. And you cannot continue telling people to stay under environment, under the government, where protection of life and property have become a mirage. So to that extent, if the government know that they don't have what it takes to protect lives and property, I think it's honorable for them to own it up and allow people to determine where they want to belong by way of self-determination. Because if you look at self-determination in itself, is not a crime, both locally and internationally. Since Nigeria is already a signatory to a UN Charter that talks about self-determination. So to that extent, it is a law in Nigeria legal jurisprudence. And as such, anyone that comes under that platform and have not violated any known law, but and does it within the ambit of the law, have not violated any known law. I think that is the reason you even find it that even in spite of the case federal government is having with Ananda Kalo, you can never see any area they accuse him of self-determination because they know he have the right of self-determination. And of course, we saw the judgment of court the other time that ruled that Ananda Kalo was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. As such, he should be released unconditionally. Talking about the judgment from Court of Appeal in Nigeria. The federal government appealed that case, but more Nigerians were of the view that the government needed to appeal that case. Because if you look at Nnamdi Kanu's travail, you look at what Nnamdi Kanu stands for, you begin to wonder, and when you juxtapose it with activists of Fulani henchmen, Fulani military, who, of course, only thing they stand for is maiming, killing, raping, you begin to wonder why should Nnamdi Kanu be in detention up to now. If you can have a situation where even Boko Haram members, these are known terrorist personalities, you can clearly see Nigerian army de-radicalizing them, reintegrating them into the larger society. And we have a situation where the former governor of Kaduna State, talking about Nasir El-Rufai, came at the other time to make it very clear that there is nothing like repentant bandits. That the only bandit who have repented is the one who have died. That the best treatment to give to bandits is to send them to God, who will ultimately judge them. So if somebody who have been in the sorrow in the past as a governor could be speaking in this direction, I think it speaks volume of what Nigerians are into, what Nigerians are passing through. Because I think Southern Kaduna, for instance, have seen it all. A place like Plateau have seen it all. Of course, in Plateau, talking about the Bokos and Bassa local government areas where over 90-something persons were killed in a couple of days recently. And if you look at the response of federal government, you begin to wonder whether the government actually realized that they had the mandate to protect life and property. Because it's like passing buck. A situation where the president was admonishing the state government or rather the state governor to find a lasting peace in an issue that falls under his purview, where the buck rests with him as the person who had the mandate and responsibility to protect lives and property, pushing it to the governor to find ways of making peace. Let me read from the Vanguard. He's saying Plateau killing. Governor Alia threatens Tinubu give Mufwang margin order as family of 8 wiped out. One for that to say that Abuja, President Bola Tinubu has given margin orders to the Plateau State Governor, Caleb Mufwang, to summon the necessary political will to restore the crisis in the state and establish enduring peace. And this is a governor who have come out clearly to say that what happened in Bokos and Bassa local government areas of the state is purely genocidal Fulani invasion. So if it has been established that the agenda of the Fulani man is to exterminate the people, of course, what kind of peace are we looking at? Rather than the government, through their coercive power, coming to bring their might and deal with the situation with every force it deserves, rather than asking the governor to go and look for solutions. We understand that the governor, by nature of our sexual architecture, do not command the fly. Of course, the former governor of Plateau State echoed that. And if you look at the Commissioner of Police in the state, the Director of DSS, the military formation, they are all answerable to the Office of the National Security Advisor, who in turn report directly to the President. And you have a situation where the President is not asking the governor to summon political will to resolve a crisis that is needed, that needed the military, the police, all the paramilitary agencies to synergize to fight the invading group. This time around, the Fulani militaries. So for me, I think the president and the presidency, the federal government should realize that they have a responsibility to protect lives and property, and that buck person is not fashionable. It's not the way to go. Rather, they should get their hands on and do the needful to protect lives and property. Hence, Mr. President has sworn an oath to do that. But again, let me quickly say that what happened in Plateau is a replica of what we regularly hear that happens in Benue. Of course, it equally happens in some part of Kaduna, talking about Southern Kaduna, where even the former governor, talking about Nasir El-Rufai, made it very clear that at the point in his time as governor that they have to pay some Fulani herdsmen, or rather some Fulani men, to stop killing people, the people. So though his strategy was because perhaps he did not even command the security architecture, maybe just to make sure that the people have some level of safety in the act of doing their business. But I remember that sometime in that same Kaduna, that is situation where bandits were already sitting at courts, adjudicating over cases, imposing fine on people and all that. But let me quickly leave it at this point and encourage federal government to have the responsibility by the constitution to protect lives and property, to right to education and protect the property and life of Nigerians, because it is the cardinal point of governance. Hence, the constitution made it very clear, I think in section 14 of 1999 constitution as amended, that the welfare of Nigerians and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. I don't think that have changed. So the government should realize that they have a responsibility to protect lives and property. Thank you very much. This is Lamida Nami so much.